All right. So the reason why I'm making this video is because lately I've been hearing this talk about God pretty much everywhere. There are people who feel that you should believe in God and worship God and pray to God and give your power away to God. But here's the trick to that. It's not just God that people are talking about. There are other words that are used in place of God. And for those of you that watch Kim Gogan, you heard her talk about source, which she interchangeably replaces the word with God. She goes back and forth between God and source, and she's using it in a manner in which people that are God fearing or people that are religious will understand that she's talking about the same entity that they worship, even though in the Bible there is a different God than source, which is Yahweh. And that's a whole nother story, right? And then there's also, I've heard it called divine. I've heard it called, or divinity, divine, the divine. I've heard it called creation. I've heard it called the universe. I've heard it called this. I've heard it called that. The point of this video is to tell everyone that's listening, in case you get confused about me, I don't worship or give my power away to any entity that is outside of myself. Why am I saying that? Because I had a friend I have a few friends that follow this logic, but one that I got into an argument with about last week, or I want to say it was last week. And he's very religious and he believes in God. And if you're one of these people, I'm basically talking to you. But anybody else that believes that they should worship or give their power away to an entity that you call God or believe to be God, I don't believe that. And I'll tell you why. I feel that once you've been created by this entity, if you believe in that, and I do believe there is an entity like that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. What I'm saying is I don't give my power to it. I don't worship it. And I believe that once this entity creates what it creates, the expectation is for you to become your own God and your own creator and your own source in your own universe. That's the way I feel about it. And no one's going to convince me otherwise. There's no argument I've heard. There's no logic. There's no person, that includes Kim Gogan, that I've heard speak that has convinced me that I should believe in giving my power away to this entity. Now, Kim Gogan doesn't necessarily say that, right? But she does work with Source, and that's what she does, right? I'm not one of those people, though. I don't work with Source. I work alone. I've always worked alone. I am alone. But do I believe that I have some kind of purpose? Sure. I do believe that I'm supposed to do something, right? But everybody does, right? Everybody believes they're supposed to do something. Whatever you feel your purpose is, whatever you feel like you should be doing, you decide that. You decide that, whether you believe in God or not. So if you believe that God is telling you to do something, that's what you believe. That's what you want to do. That's what you feel like doing, right? Because you feel like God is telling you to. If you don't believe that God is telling you to do anything and you're doing whatever you want, regardless of whether you believe in God or not, then that's what you feel like doing. That's your path. That's what you want to do, right? So again, it goes back to what I said earlier about you are your own God. You are your own universe. You do what you do, period. And I am the biggest believer in that. But the difference, I guess, between me and other people that don't really believe in God or follow God is that I do understand that there is something there that exists that is like that. An omnipotent force, right? A creator, a creation, whatever you want to call it. So I understand that it's there. It's just that I don't believe in it controlling my life. And everybody that I've ever met, pretty much in my entire life for the most part, unless they're completely atheists, they believe that there is a force that governs their life that they need to follow according to the will of that force or that God or that entity, right? And when you live your life like that, You're basically taking away your own free will that was granted to you by that creation, by that creator, by that source, right? Because now you're saying, and I've heard even Kim Gogan say this, the will of the creator, the creation. Do I believe that certain things should happen or shouldn't happen? Yes, because we live in a universe that dictates, it has certain rules, right? There are rules, there are the good rules and bad rules. Meaning, if you do bad things, you get punished. If you do good things, you get rewarded. Yada yada yada. Everybody knows that, right? At least the people that listen to me know that. So you have to work within those rules, I believe. But again, that to me is almost an inherently known thing, meaning everybody pretty much knows what good and bad is, or good and evil, or what you should and shouldn't do. If you choose to do the wrong thing, even though you know it's wrong, that's your own decision that you've made, right? But then there are repercussions for that. So in a way, there is something that has the willpower to decide whether what you do is right or not. However, I believe, and this is just how I feel about it, somebody like me, who I don't operate under those rules, meaning I'm going to do what I feel is right, whether it agrees with that entity or not. Maybe it just so happens that what I believe or what I feel like I should do aligns with that entity, that creator, that creation. And if that's the case, then so be it, right? But I'm choosing to do that of my own accord. I'm not doing it because some outside force or entity is telling me to do it, or I'm following some kind of religious edict or some guide that says, or some book, right? Like the Bible, that's saying this is how you have to live your life and these are the things that you have to do. I'm doing it because I feel like it's the right thing to do. And there's no connection for me anyways that I'm aware of where something is telling me that this is what I have to do. There is no guidance for me. There is no, this is the entity that I'm following and it's telling me to do this thing. Do you understand? So that's how I feel that I'm different than others, where others feel they're being guided by someone or something. Even if you follow Kim Gogan or whoever you follow, most people are being guided by someone or something. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't do that. I don't follow that. I may align with certain beliefs or certain ways of being because I feel like is right within myself. I just inherently feel that way. But that's not because somebody else told me, or that's because, I feel like I need to follow something. It's just my own feeling. But it is what it is. So maybe there is something that is guiding me without my knowing. But I don't feel that I'm being made to do anything. And I don't feel like I'm following anyone. So like people might say to me, oh, you follow this person, you worship this, you believe this. Just because my beliefs or ways of doing things agree with or align with certain entities or beings, it doesn't mean I'm doing it because of them. I'm doing it because I want to do it. Do you understand the difference? And I feel like inherently, I'm doing what I feel to be right, whether anyone agrees with that or not. And what that tends to do is it puts me in a very rare category of a lot of people will agree with me and a lot of people will disagree with me. But I'm not going to change based on what anyone or anything says. There is nothing in this universe that I know of that can make me be in any way other than the way I choose to be. And the way I choose to be is what I feel to be right. That's all I'm trying to say. But anyways, if you like, comment, subscribe. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you agree. If you don't, tell me why. Let me know in the comments below. Hit the notification bell. Share where you can. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.